Hi, welcome to this episode of The Keto Vegan. I'm Rachel. I am your host. In this episode, I am going to talk about my favorite plant-based meats. They are keto-friendly as well, of course. Otherwise, what is the point? And they bring all the flavor with the low carbs. So I'm going to explain where I get them from. I'm in England, what their nutrition is, why they're perfect for people like us who are on the keto diet and vegans. And I made my own barbecue seasoning because the stuff that you buy in the supermarket, it's got loads of sugar in it. Makes it taste nice, I guess. So I've made my own. I made it today. I'll tell you what goes in it. I can't tell you how much of each thing, about a teaspoon, because you know what I'm like when I make stuff. And I know I haven't done a recipe as an episode for ages, but my kitchen leaves a little bit to be desired. Next year, I'd have had a new kitchen done. Let's hope, with everything in exactly the right place, etc., etc. Anyway, I love juicy marbles. They're right up on their boxes is hilarious. If you just look at their website to read their information, that is worth the time. Honestly, it really is. But they do their plant-based steaks in places like Sainsbury's and Tesco. And so I've tried those and I really liked them. So I went online, because they also do these ribs, went online to order from there. And I have bought, as my birthday in a couple of weeks' time, and I'm doing a big Sunday lunch. And Juicy Marbles do these loins and they serve 6 people. So it's like a joint of meat. This is the first company I know that has done a joint of meat. In the past, last year, I was having to make mince and stuff burgers together to do something that could go into that pretend beef Wellington that I made for Christmas Day. Okay, well, no, I think I pushed mince together and did it that way. But they do this loin joint and they do these ribs and they're so lovely. And I had those for lunch today, actually. But they're really expensive. Okay, so juicy marbles. I went online because I can't find the ribs or the loin in supermarkets. So I went online and they are closing their UK online store. Why is that? Are we not buying enough from them? Anyway, that's irrelevant because they say this fabulous company called mightyplants.com are then going to be selling juicy marbles instead. So I thought, oh, let's go to Mighty Plants and let's see what they do. And oh my God, if you are vegan and you want your proteins, Mighty Plants is excellent. They do my other favorite as well, Redefined, and one that used to be my favorite, and I can't find it in supermarkets, so I haven't used it for ages, Oumph. And that's like pretend chicken. And that is incredible. So they do all of those. So let's get into a bit more detail about the juicy marbles before I go off on the Redefined and the Oumph trail. Now, with the Mighty Plants website, you can put in your gluten-free tab and then you can choose your proteins tab. So all the meats that you see are, they're gluten-free and they are going to be really decent proteins. I'm not going to go into everything. I'm just going to talk my 3 faves today, which is, as I've said, juicy marbles, Redefined, Oumph. It's not saying that I don't like everything else and other things, but these are my faves, and that's what I'm talking about today. Now, in your juicy marbles, you have got a few ingredients. The biggest ingredient on these is, and I'm going to be talking about the fillet steaks, the whole cut loin, and the bone-in ribs. They range from 2.4 grams of carbs down to 2.1 grams of carbs for the bone-in ribs. The fat isn't high enough for us keto vegans, but basically, chuck on your oil, have some avocado with it, use your Heinz vegan mayonnaise. The proteins are really high, so don't forget we need a higher fat than we do the protein. So, for example, the steaks, protein 18 grams, as is the loin, And the ribs is 20 grams for the protein in those. Now, what goes into these? So the biggest ingredient is water, then it's soy protein concentrate, and this is the same for all of them. Sunflower oil, natural flavours, red beet juice concentrate, and then they use thickeners. I'm going to put the ingredients underneath in the show notes, so have a look at those. So the bone-in ribs, they also has apple extract, and it does say it contains sulfur dioxide and sulfites. Every product by Juicy Marbles has got added B12 in. Rah, that's great, isn't it? And now, what about the prices of my favorite products? At Mighty Plants, the 2 steak fillets are £12. They are on offer at the moment in Sainsbury's or Tesco. I can't remember where I was. I've been to both recently for £7. Normally, they sell for £9 for a pair of fillets in the supermarket. But at Mighty Plants, they're £12. I don't know if they're a bit bigger. You're going to have to do your research. The whole cut loin is £28. £28, it serves 6, 12. So that is per gram cheaper than buying. So if I want 2 fillet steaks for 6 people, I'm going to have to buy 3 of those from this company, Mighty Plants. That would cost me 36 quid. The loin serves 6, it's 28 quid. So it's cheaper per gram, ounce, whatever, to get the loin. 28 quid though, for a joint that only serves 6 people. And the ribs, 500 grams, £22.13. They are really expensive. They are really expensive. And in the pack of ribs for 22 quid, you get 1 rack of ribs. They've got 6 ribs in. And I mean, depends how hungry you are. You could eat a whole lot. I mean, you're not going to lose weight if you're eating the whole lot of ribs. For my lunch today, I did a bed of rocket leaves, mayonnaise, Heinz vegan mayonnaise, really high in fat, really good, low in carbs. And then 2 of these ribs on that. Cooked in, I'd roasted them. I put my barbecue seasoning over them, rubbed that in, and cooked it in some sesame oil, turned it halfway through. And it, oh my God, it is amazing. It just falls off the bone. The bone, don't eat it, is edible. Don't eat it. I think, yeah, I think it's edible, but don't eat it. It's really, just don't eat it. Okay. So those are my juicy marble. Okay, next one is Redefined. And the Redefined plant-based beef Blanc is 200 grams, and that is £8.65. And that is also in a Mighty Plants. I keep forgetting the name of Mighty Plants. I have to keep going up to have a look. Those carbs are higher. They're 6 grams. Protein is 26 grams, even higher. And the fat is 9 grams. Again, you have to put more fat on there. Isn't it lovely? Knowing you have to add more fat to things so that we can lose weight. I love that. Don't remember all those low-fat diets that we used to do before we knew better. Yeah. Okay, what is in the Redefined? You have got, again, the highest ingredient is water. Isn't that nice? But their plant protein is wheat. So this has got gluten in it. Their protein is wheat, soy, and potato, flour, soy and wheat, redefined rapeseed oil, flavorings which do contain mustard. Oh my God, if you've got allergens, you're screwed with this one. Okay, my last product, Oumph. Amazing. It's incredible. This is also sold at, what's it called again? Mighty Plants. And the Oumph chunk, guess what the ingredients are on that? 2 ingredients. Oh no, sorry, I lied. 3 ingredients with the Oumph chunk, and I love the texture of it. It is water is the highest one, then soya protein at 23%, and then some salt. That is it. That is it. So basically, you cook it how you want to bring the flavors out. I will be putting my barbecue seasoning on it, and maybe some, I don't know, we'll see. But I haven't bought any for ages because Oumph unless it's flavored, and the Oumph drumsticks, which I can't have, and the sticky smokehouse, and I can't have that because it's got too many carbs per 100 grams. But this chunk is 0 carbs. Isn't that amazing? Well done, Oumph. Credit to you. Now, where do I buy Oumph from? Oh, right, Redefined. Sorry, backtracking. You can get Redefined from the mightyplants.com. Links below. Redefined, you can also get from Ocado, which is an online grocery store, if you haven't heard of that. This is, again, UK. I don't know about Europe. I don't know about Australia. I don't know about America. So I'm sorry about that, but let me know. And Oumph you can get from Iceland, as in the grocery supermarket Iceland. Now, Iceland do really, not a massive selection of vegan, but they do really good Oumph choice, massive things that, I mean, when I was looking today to do research for this, I went onto Iceland website and they've got so many Oumph products, things that I didn't know even existed. That's how narrow my searches have been recently. And Iceland, they also do this. This is not one of my favorites. They also do the no meat company chicken, various things. And that, oh my God, is 0.2 grams of carbs per 100. Maybe I need to start shopping in Iceland and try their no meat company chicken version things. It's very high in protein. It's low in fat as well. So again, add your fats. Okay, I know this is what you've all been waiting for, my barbecue seasoning. I know, it's so exciting, isn't it? How do I make up these recipes? Well, I'd be telling, wouldn't I? Very simple, really. I look at what the ingredients are on the side of barbecue seasoning from Schwartz or Tesco or Sainsbury's. And I then just like, oh, I've got this and I've got that and I've got that. Oh, I need this. I'll buy some of that. So tomato powder, didn't have any of that. So I ordered some and it arrived the next day. Fabulous. Through Amazon. I'm sorry about that. I know Amazon's really unpopular at the moment, isn't it? Or Jeff Bezos is. Okay, so what goes into your own barbecue seasoning and why do I make it? Because there's 24 grams of carbs per 100 grams in your own, the shop bought seasoning. And I know we're only going to use like a teaspoon or a tablespoon at the most of barbecue seasoning, but let's avoid carbs where we can because we're going to be eating them because of the choices, the other choices we make. So let's get rid of them where we can. Right, what goes into it? So, okay, let's say this is what I did. 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of dried onion powder or onion granules. How much brown sugar did I put in? A heaped teaspoon. So I've used the Truvia for baking brown, but I can't find it in the supermarkets anymore. It's probably not a bad thing. I like to try things different. So when I run out of that, I'm going to find a better alternative because if you actually look at the sugar count, the carb count is 90 something, 98 grams, but of sugars of which are like 0. But with the Truvia, actually the sugars are about 4 grams per 100. So again, that's low, but there are sugars out there or potential sugar-free sugars that have got 0 grams. So always go the lowest you can because if you're going to have vegetables, you're going to be having carbs. And where you can avoid the carbs, avoid them. Okay. Teaspoon of smoked paprika, teaspoon of dried onion, a heaped teaspoon of the pretend brown sugar, teaspoon of tomato powder, teaspoon of dried garlic, half a teaspoon of dried mustard or mustard powder, half a teaspoon of coriander, or did I put a bit more in? Smoked salt. I have ground smoked salt and I didn't put enough in. It wasn't salty enough. So I will do more than that. So I guess when I was grounding it, it's probably about a teaspoon, half a teaspoon, but I would use more next time. In fact, what I might do if I'm going to put it over my ribs or whatever, I might salt them first and then that will help the flavors go in. Quarter of a teaspoon of ginger powder, or ground ginger, it's a proper word, ground black pepper, quarter of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and quarter of a teaspoon of chili powder. But now I'm thinking about the flavors. I think I could put a bit more of the hot stuff in because you've got the sweetness of the brown sugar that will counteract that hot stuff. So that's how you make Rachel's barbecue seasoning, and adjust it how you want. Add more salt than what I did. I hope you find that really helpful. What are your favorite plant-based proteins that are really low in carbs and a lovely texture? Please don't tell me tofu. I know, you know, I've tried tofu. I just can't do it. Well, I can do it. If I'm going to a restaurant and they've cooked it really nicely, then I can do it. Oh, there's a restaurant just really close to me, 2-minute walk, 3-minute walk, that do loads of vegan options. I'm going to have to go there. I'll see you next time. Next time, I'm going to ask a few questions about being vegan and what that actually means. So tune in for that one. I'll see you next time.